The following contest is your main event of the evening, and it is a six-man tag team match scheduled for one fall.
Well, I admired the guts of Sonny Vice a moment ago, wanting a match with Nicky Valentino. I think we can see that happen at our next DVD and digital release, New Year's Revolution 2017. I'm going to make that match right now, Sonny Vice, one-on-one with Nicky Valentino, in addition to Ricky Shane Page, Gannon Jones Jr., and a whole lot of all-star action. Wait a second.
603 pounds, the team of Krimson, the Mind of the Race Remy LaVey, and the New Age Plague, Gory.
Well, this is your advertised main event. It's supposed to be a six-man tag team match. Krimson, Gory, and Remy LaVey, but the Coger brothers are not scheduled. Gory is the leader of the Culmination. He's the one that recruited Remy LaVey into the fold. He found the Coger brothers and formed a relationship there. But when Jason Kincaid, when Nate Wings, when Andrew Palace rallied the troops and fought against the Culmination, Gory went to his roots and brought in the original embodiment of evil, his mentor in darkness, Krimson. Krimson and Gory, as part of the Dead Wrestling Society, dominated Prime Wrestling for years, including the Prime Championship, the Television Championship, the Tag Championship, the only faction to win every title at one point or another. And Krimson back here in Cleveland for the first time in over 3 years. And you know it's going to be a violent, violent affair between the Culmination, the spiritual father Krimson, and the three men that have been affected most by Gory's reign of tyranny and despair. Jason.
First coming from West Virginia, weighing in at 207 pounds, the kid, Jason Kincaid.
Jason Kincaid was sacrificed, no better way to put it, to the altar of Gory and the Culmination in that lumberjack match at Revengeance. Kincaid and Gory have had issues ever since PCW started here at Turner's Hall.
Introducing his partners, first from Dayton, Ohio, weighing in at 130 pounds, Nate Wings.
Nate Wings was the innocent victim the Cogers pulled from the pile of rubble to make a statement at the expense of, but Wings wouldn't lay down. He came back to fight both the Cogers and Remy LaVey. A month ago at November Pain, Wings was outsized and outmanned, but he still did not stop. Andrew Palace, the frenetic energy. He used to be friends with Remy LaVey. They broke in together. They've trained together. And when Remy LaVey turned his back on everything he believed in, Andrew Palace was affected the most. And he's tried to get through to Remy and understand what's happening. Maybe try to convince Remy the error of his ways. But Gory and the Cogers have kept Remy closely guarded, as this matchup has not started, BC Steel, but the fight sure as hell has.
Well, Joe, we've got a mix of evil, which you said, which is the key word, definitely the operative word in this situation, evil with the Culmination. We've also got a lot of emotion from Andrew Palace, seeing one of his good, close personal friends, Remy LaVey, turn to that evil. You mentioned Jason Kincaid had been sacrificed, and Nate Wings just suffered a beating. There's no other way to really put that. So we've got evil, we've got emotion, and I'll tell you, I don't envy the referee in this situation at all. I am glad we're where we're at, and these fans better pay attention because they don't know what's going to go on as well. You can see bodies flying all about. And what kind of strategy do you have in this? Or is there a strategy at all?
The strategy is survive. It's a war of attrition here, but it's not even a six-man tag. It's technically 5-on-3 because of these damn Cogers, and the match hasn't started yet, so there's no disqualification.
And, you know, I got to wonder, what do Palace, Wings, and Kincaid know about Krimson? They've seen the other four individuals of the Culmination, but Krimson, as you mentioned earlier, his experience in Prime. Well, wait, here we go.
And Kincaid launches himself at the Culmination. By the time they saw Kincaid, it was too late. All they could do is look on like deers in headlights as Kincaid crashing down to all four men. Not sure what Kincaid has that time, but Palace in the ring at this point. This is completely out of hand. Kincaid and Gory going at it. That's really the nucleus of this rivalry. Here comes Palace, but Palace gets stopped by Gory. Palace beat Gory 2 out of 3 falls a month ago. Many people didn't give Palace a chance, but man, did he rise to the occasion and give an assist to Nate Wings on that one for keeping the score even.
Well, yeah, as you mentioned, credit to Nate Wings as the equalizer.
He ran off the entire culmination at one point.
Well, this is essentially right now a 5-on-3. Let's call it what it is.
Well, Gory is maybe looking to take a chance here, but Palace is underneath. Palace launching Gory onto his underlings.
And that's what you're going to have to do if you're these 3 individuals. Try and use one member to take out the other. I believe that's one of the Cogers and Gory, and give credit to Palace, Wings, and Kincaid. They're taking it to him.
That was Otis Coger. His leader, Atticus Coger, is hurt on the ramp at this point. Gory's shirt's been ripped halfway off his body. There's going to be a lot of casualties here before we're done.
You know, you don't see many people like the culmination in daily society normally look down upon, maybe not even look down upon, but definitely looked away from.
That's because they're loners, they're introverts, they're hanging out in the darkness. We're in a basement somewhere, planning some kind of sick ritual or sick scheme, and our cameraman is having us to scatter out of the way because they are dangerously close to our production area, our scaffolding. This is completely out of hand. Krimson's rearranging furniture. Who's he at? Is that Palace? Palace has never seen anything like Krimson before, I'll guarantee you that. Wait a second! What's Nate Wings doing?
Well, I don't think Nate Wings is working on his basketball skills. That's what, 10, 12 feet?
Look at this! Nate Wings risking everything to take out 3 or 4 members of the culmination. Nate Wings is undersized. He's only about 5'3" or 4, 150 pounds tops. But man, this guy won't fight until he can't breathe.
And that's a heck of a way to even up the numbers. Nate Wings, again, you know, you said it early on about the heart, the soul, the desire, and the fight of Nate Wings. And I may have taken it lightly and I may have made jokes, but he's certainly proven that there as Kincaid proved that he's not really worried about rules and worried about style points in this matchup. And this is a new side of Palace we're seeing as well.
Well, Palace has always been a little bit off the cuff in his own right, but a shoulder tackle and Krimson into a sea of steel. Kincaid was impressed by that. And this is revenge and retribution as these men have wanted to for so long. Our cameraman trying to get back and look at Nate Wings. Bottom of your screen, Gory's prone on the guardrail, and Nate Wings drops a leg. We are using our standby camera now as our main camera gets back into place. We are trying to cover this as best we can as now Wings shoves Remy LaVey back into the ring. Kincaid is walking over, I think, Gory, and that was the opening bell. And there's a cover. We almost had a 4-second match.
Well, I think we've finally, seemingly, we're going to have some order. I hesitate to use that word, but some order here as we get not only our camera crew, but the wrestlers back organized. And the fans, if they can find their seats.
Yeah, literally. Kincaid opening up on Remy LaVey. You see Krimson trying to shake off the cobwebs. Gory back in his corner. My God, is this crazy. Look at Kincaid. Kincaid is so innovative. He doesn't think like anybody else. He's so spiritual, he's deep, and he also always pulls something out you've never seen before. Kincaid charging through as we're back to our standard camera here as Kincaid springs in with a drop kick. Into the cover. Could this be it? No. And Remy reaching out for his corner.
And I'll tell you, conspicuous by his absence right now, I'm not seeing Gory at this point. I don't know if our camera's not picking him up.
But Gory is on his side of the ring, but he's not standing on the apron. He's on the arena floor still. He must be hurt from something that happened on the outside. Take your pick. And Kincaid distracted a bit by the Cogers there as Remy LaVey now begins to go to work.
what about the change that we've seen in Remy LaVey since aligning himself, the best word that I can think to put it, with Gory? Just a different style, a different brand of evil. And here's the advantage. I said earlier, you've got the Cogers out there. You've got Gory. You've got
Cogers are being kicked out.
Well, of course they are, because I'm once again alone. Hit him! Oh, hit Joe Dombrowski. I'll pay the fine. Joe Dombrowski, well, I guess calling his shot, so to speak, and making sure that the Cogers get back to the locker room. Now we have an even 3-on-3. Again, left all alone by myself, as we have Kincaid there in no man's land, not the place he wants to be, as Gory with 2 thumbs to the eyes. Seemingly right now we have a 3-on-3, even odds for Kincaid, Wings, and Palace, as we see the artist of evil, if you will. Questionable shot there to the lower stomach of Kincaid, but the artist of evil, Krimson, again, I think I hear Joe Dombrowski. I should have locked the door.
What are you talking about? Listen, let me tell you this. I was waiting for the referee to make that call, and as soon as he did, I was ready to make sure the Cogers get out of here, because I am sick and tired of the Cogers getting involved in business that they are not contractually obligated to be in. And I'm going to make this guarantee to you, BC Steel. If the Cogers interfere in another matchup they are not involved in, there will be serious consequences. I'll leave it at that.
Well, be that as it may, I'm sure you're going to have to, one way or another, explain that to them. Good luck on that one. I turn around, 1 minute you're here, 1 minute you're not.
Kincaid with a chance to get to the tag. Kincaid broke from the grasp of Remy LaVey. Oh, we don't get to see Palace and Remy. That's what I've been waiting for.
Well, there was that innovative, not only offense, but defensive maneuver, throwing Remy LaVey back into his own corner and allowing Kincaid to make the tag.
Palace and Remy will go one-on-one at New Year's Revolution, if I have my say about it. That's a matchup we tried to do a month ago. We threw the format sheet out the window that night, but there's still unsettled differences from Palace and Remy LaVey, as Palace feels betrayed, and Remy feels like a new man as Gory finds 2. Gory looking to avenge that 2 out of 3 falls loss, but I thought that was really a banner moment in the career of Andrew Palace when he beat Gory 2 out of 3 falls. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, as you mentioned, throwing the format out the window, a 2 out of 3 falls match is definitely different, because you're not only focusing on the win, you also have to focus on your stamina and knowing that you could have to go quite a bit, and well, that's very effective, I'll say, from Gory. Broken fingers make it hard to do just about anything. So credit to Andrew Palace, but you'd have to think that Gory wants to avenge that, not only for his combination, for his Church of Evil, his misfit toys, would you say, but to also send a message to Andrew Palace.
Krimson sending a message of pain right up the arm of Andrew Palace, biting the fingers. Krimson is so unorthodox, he's so untamed. As evil as Gory is, the man that taught him to be evil is Krimson. 2-0. Second to last ever Prime Wrestling champion. Defeated Rhino in the final ever Prime Wrestling event. But just imagine the hatred that is going through the body, through the bloodstream of Krimson, that allowed him to create something like the New Age Plague Gory.
Well, I'm not quite sure if I want to think about what goes through the mind, body, and soul of Krimson. Just a unique individual. There's not really anybody like him elsewhere in wrestling. And you'd have to think that, as we saw the mentor of Gory, Krimson, you'd have to say that even the mentor of the Cogers and of Remy LaVey is Gory. So that evil being passed down from odd wrestling generation to wrestling generation, if you will.
And to your point about the changes in Remy LaVey, the aggression, the confidence, the sinister nature, the bloodthirstiness, Remy LaVey has transformed into a completely different person from the gentleman that I knew when he first started coming here to PCW. Nice back elbow, though. Remy has become, and he was always 2-0 there. He was always a little bit of a loner. He was always somebody that looked at the world through his own set of eyes, but Now he doesn't want to talk to anybody. He doesn't want to interact with anybody. He doesn't want to be seen by anybody unless he's with Gory and the rest of the Culmination. And he seems to preach at the altar of the Culmination like this is the salvation of PCW and pro wrestling. This is the group we all need to follow to have it right and to be on the correct path in life. And I think Remy's taking this thing a little bit overboard.
Well, the point you made, the last thing we really heard from Remy were those cryptic words to you, actually. And at the time, not sure what that meant, and I don't think we begin to understand what Gory and even Krimson have in store for PCW, what the Culmination has in store for PCW. And quite frankly, it's a little unsettling, I think would be the best word to put it, when you think of all these individuals at once and what it means for PCW as a whole, not just the wrestlers they're in the ring with right now.
Krimson mocking Kincaid and Wings. And having his way with Andrew Palace, who is trying to fight back out of the corner any way he can. Jeez. Hard shots. Krimson trying to fight his way free, and I wouldn't want to match strike for strike with Krimson, that's for sure.
There's not a lot of men that are going to be able to do that.
And Palace, look at this. A staple of Krimson's offense. Palace nowhere to go! And the knee sends Palace back of the head first into the canvas. Palace could be out. And imagine what a Culmination win will do for momentum. 2-0. Imagine entering into a new year with a PCW champion to soon be crowned. Imagine the power that could rest in the hands of Gory and company.
It's a scary thought, not only for anybody the opposite end of that ring from Gory, or any member of the Culmination for that matter, but also everybody else. You know, everybody's going to want their name in the pot, so to speak, want a shot at the PCW championship. And if they have to go through Gory, I'm not going to say that they're going to second think it, but they're going to have to know what's ahead of them. And I don't know how much more punishment Palace is going to be able to take.
Witch's Wheel, that would have done it. Krimson's won many a match in a championship with the Witch's Wheel, but Palace comes back with an EDT. And is this an opportunity for the frenetic energy of Palace to come back into play? Can Palace find his corner? Has Palace been able to silence evil long enough to get a fresh man? Kincaid and Wings are rooting Palace on every inch of the way. Potential turning point in this contest. Tag to Gory. And Remy comes in as well, but Nate Wings takes both men out. And Nate Wings has been a ball of energy this entire match. He has come ready for war. This kid is something special. Sidesteps out of the way, and Gory collides with Remy. Great thinking on his feet. Double cross body.
That was a smart defensive move by Nate Wings, hearing Gory behind him with the...
All the momentum! Wings catches Gory, the one-man Spanish fly, but Remy makes the save. That could have done it.
Impressive flurry of offense there by Wings, but there's Remy. Remy, a different side of Remy, being a little bit smarter there, being able to take Wings out.
Look at Palace. Again, this is the friendship. This is the relationship that goes back to both these men's early days in this business. Neckbreaker. Palace maybe trying to exorcise that demon from Remy. But Krimson right there as well. No time to talk about it. No time for psychotherapy. This is a war. Ooh. Palace dropped face and head first again. But Kincaid there waiting for Krimson. And there's some of that chase of Kincaid innovation. And now Gory. He tries to mount the offensive. But Kincaid crouches Gory. We saw that come back to haunt Gory last month as well.
Well, I think Gory took a little bit too time there. Kincaid just caught him. And Joe, we're perilously close for things breaking down again.
Superplex. Oh, Remy saves Gory at the last second. Kincaid, he gets crotched and lands very awkwardly to the outside. Nate Wings and Krimson all alone. Witch's Wheel! Oh! and the spiritual father leading into Gory with a double stomp, and the culmination working together have pulled up a victory over Nate Wings and company.
Your winners, the team of Remy LaVey, Krimson, and Gory.
Palace and Wings got the better of the culmination a month ago. That's when Gory announced Krimson was coming to PCW, and Krimson was the difference maker. Krimson was the catalyst to the culmination coming back out on top again. And now the Cogers are back at ringside, and they're picking up right where they left off.
Well, it's not just for the culmination to win, it's to send a message, not only going from the end of 2016, but forward into 2017 as to what happens when you cross the culmination. And I think we're going to see that with Palace and Wings, and maybe even Kincaid as well.
Krimson and Remy stepping on the face of Andrew Palace. These men used to be friends, Remy and Palace. And the Cogers have Nate Wings, and Krimson and Gory have Palace. Oh, wait a second now. Think about this. They are leaving Palace prone for Remy LaVey. Oh, is Remy going to miss his former friend? Wait, here comes Kincaid. Kincaid helping out Palace, but on the outside, I believe they're surrounding, the culmination has surrounded Nate Wings. Nate Wings is lifeless. The culmination is abducting Nate Wings. What the hell is this about? The culmination is leaving with a sacrificial lamb, and Krimson and Gory couldn't be happier about it. Somebody help this kid. The culmination won the battle and wind up with another body added to the victims list. The culmination dominant as we head to 2017.